Is America the new Roman Empire and on the verge of collapse? Well, in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the opinions and the views from an unbiased look at what is happening. As we're drunk in the Coliseum, drunk off the wine, worried about the Super Bowl and all the things that don't matter, wearing other men's names on our jerseys, the Trojan horse is coming in. As we sit here and send billions of dollars overseas. Our country is literally letting everything go. 120% debt to income ratio. We have to borrow to pay for critical services, and we're fighting this invisible enemy. The left and right are getting us to fight. Well, I'm going to take my bias lens off, and I'm going to have you listen to different sides of the coin here. In the recent past, we heard Tucker Carlson interview Putin. He said it's a boogeyman, dude. We're thousands of miles away. Protect your borders, guys. Protect your borders. What's going on? Why you keep sending money over to Ukraine? That's his opinion, okay? I'm looking at the macroeconomic and microeconomics, and Ray Dalio's changing world order, and I put my family in a position where we're radically transforming our family's wealth timeline because, hey, listen, it's not that I don't trust anybody, but this happens over and over again in society. And I think we're foolishly grabbing on to the fact that America is in a very tough position. So we're going to listen to Ben Carson. He's going to talk about his opinion around conservatism. Then I'm going to flip it over to the Salvador president, and he's going to talk about America. So now that's two different perspectives. Somebody outside of the country, Putin outside of our country stating that, El Salvador president stating that, the BRICS countries saying they're de-dollarizing. At what point are we going to start to listen? Okay. And all I'm sharing with you guys, my intentions, is exactly what I've done since 2020. I got into a very speculative asset when I was extremely broke, when the C word pandemic shut me down and it pissed me off. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done with them controlling my money. And so I learned how the wealthy operate. I was broke on my parents' couch. I held my crypto portfolio. I did the opposite of the 99% during the bull run. As everybody was coming in, I sold profits and I secured in tax code 7702A. And I've repeated this process. I expanded in business. I invested in businesses, precious metals. And now my new cycle is I have a robust crypto portfolio. As everybody comes flooding in trying to get rich quick, I'll be selling you my cryptocurrency. I'll be securing 50% of it. I'll be securing my profits in tax code 7702A, Index Universal Life. And then I'll be borrowing against that tax free to buy more assets. And my family is going to be very, very wealthy. And you can do the same thing. Stop fighting the invisible enemy. Stop fighting this thing that's being this boogeyman that's being created for us. So we're going to watch these videos. And so I have some free resources for you. We've helped hundreds of people already since May 2023 when I got licensed. I'm a licensed insurance agent now because I'd been using Index Universal Life for a very long time. In the description of the video, I got 50 or licensed agents in all 50 states now to support you, to have a free conversation and to share with you how I use Index Universal Life. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it's worked for me. And all I do is share with you exactly what I'm doing. That's it. So down below, you can figure out the infinity banking concept, tax code 7702A. Number two, there's an absolutely free guide on exactly what I talk about on the back end of every video, free book. Okay. So let's dive into this. So the first one we're going to listen to is Ben Carson. Now, what I want you to do is I just want you to take off being liberal, being Democrat, being conservative, Republican, whatever it is. I just want you to take that lens off. And I just want you to, I'm trying to give you all the different views. I showed you the Tucker Carlson interview, what Putin says there's a boogeyman. There's a boogeyman. You guys are creating boogeymen. We're sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine. We send $700 to Hawaii. Okay, that everybody forgot about that, right? Now they're telling us that Russia's going to blow up satellites in the sky, another boogeyman, right? And then we send another billions of dollars over to Ukraine. It's like, at what point are we going to wake up? And now what Ben Carson said, Americans are starting, young Americans like, hey, I'm not serving my country anymore. They're starting and the reason why I bring this up, because I'm the macroeconomic expert, in my opinion, micro and macro. The Ray Dalio changing world order is happening to the T. To the T. Now Americans are starting to separate and polarize themselves. And that's when other countries attack to take over the superpower.
76 alive. But as we gather here today, I really want to discuss an entirely new threat to our country. Just a few miles up the road in Washington, D.C., an entirely different scene is unfolding. Our government and our legacy institutions are losing credibility in the public eye at breakneck speed, even though their systematic takeover of America has been going on for years. The The federal bureaucracy, the mainstream media, academia, Hollywood, big tech, and every other nexus of power in America today has turned its fire against conservatives, against Christians, against anyone who stands in their way. I call this the crisis of legitimacy in the United States government. America was founded on the notion that all political power comes from the consent of the governed, and that sovereignty does not belong to any one official or institution, but it belongs to we, the American people. The reality is that the government in Washington, D.C. no longer represents the people it claims to serve. And it has stopped even pretending to execute the charge laid out by our founders, the protection of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Put simply, Washington is losing its legitimate claim to govern the American people. Millions of Americans look around and wonder, what's becoming of their beloved nation? They don't recognize the place that they grew up in.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, so things that I want to talk about. So that this is taking your unbiased lens off, because now we're going to take it from other people's opinion. Putin said, "What is America doing? What are they doing? They're weaponizing the dollar. We're getting pissed." BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, since 2009, after our financial collapse, are like, how irresponsible is America? So they worked to de-dollarize since 2009. And then in 2023, they added 5 nations. The UAE is happily coming on board. They've created their own bank, and they have said that they're working to get away from the dollar because it's basically undisciplined. Russia, Putin, Tucker Carlson interview, he said, what are you guys doing? What is going on in America? Then 9 days ago, the El Salvador president said this.
It's troubling to see that this is happening everywhere. Not only in El Salvador and the United States, it's happening everywhere. But even here, in the United States, in the most powerful country in the world, even here, it's happening.
So that's key, though. He said it's happening all over the world. Guys, I'm telling you, they're bringing in a new economy. They're bringing in a brand new economic system. And I believe that we're set up very well for that. I really believe that what we've been doing and where we're investing.
America should listen to these words, not because the El Salvador model should be replicated here, but because these specific examples apply to any nation that has lost or is losing its way. Ask yourself why this is happening. Who is supporting it? And whether it's by ignorance or by choice. And fight it. Fight it with all your heart and soul. And be the beacon of hope. And be the beacon of hope that your founding fathers, with all their faults like every human being has, dreamt for your country.
He's speaking to Americans. He's in America doing this speech.
Fight for your freedoms, for your rights. Fight for the original purpose of these institutions and not their mere existence. It's still not too late. It can be done. It is time to erase these new paradigms that have been imposed in the recent years that make no sense. If you just free your minds from those invisible chains, you could do it.
If you just free your minds from those invisible chains, guys, it's boogeymen, it's invisible chains. It's all by design to get you to believe and to think that you're free, but you're enslaved in this debt-based system, trading time for money. So much time you can't pay attention. Now that we're in a debt-based system, all they had to do is raise interest rates and they have you trapped. Now you can't pay your bills. Now you can't pay your mortgage. And guess what? They're going to bring in a central bank digital currency, because when you can't feed your kids and you can't feed your family, free money sounds pretty special.
This shift is an extremely dangerous trend that undermines these institutions. effectiveness and their credibility is at stake, both home and abroad. This is a warning from a friend. You should adhere to their foundational principles and purposes and denounce this new institutionalism. Now, you would think that's it, as it wasn't enough, right?
Now you need to get your notebook out.
But unfortunately, there's more. There are other symptoms that are even more difficult to diagnose. For instance, the financial situation of the United States. When I talk to my conservative friends right here, they always tell me that the problem is high taxes, but they're wrong. Of course, high taxes are extremely high here in the United States. I give you that. You're right in that. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is not the high taxes themselves, but the fact that they are not even really funding the government.
Our taxes are going to pay our interest on the debt that's borrowed from other countries, but he's going to go deeper into this. And this just blew my mind. I tweeted it, whatever. I put on X yesterday.
Not even those high taxes, higher than a lot of places in the world, not even those taxes are really funding the government. So who's financing the government? Government is financed by treasury bonds.
Write that down. Government is financed by treasury bonds. Remember, what is all the other countries doing? China is reducing their share of U.S. treasuries.
Paper. And who buys the treasury bonds?
You print them, he said that. You print them.
Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves.
Ponzi scheme.
So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air.
Bitcoin, the guy yelled.
Someone could ask,
Bitcoin.
Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print the limited amounts of money out of thin air, why did they collect taxes?
Let that sink in, guys. Why are they collecting taxes? Why do you pay taxes?
I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not.
I'll let it sit there. I'll let you guys digest that. Okay, well, let's see what's happening here. Why do you think Larry Fink all of a sudden did this?
Of anything, I think it's just an example of the pent-up interest in crypto, and we are hearing from clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it.
Treasuries, gold, or crypto, but we know what treasuries are, right? So it's like he's telling you right there, this in 2017, he told us it's junk, money laundering. By 2023, he's like, whoa, we're going to a flight to safety. So let's take a look at what Kathy Wood says about Bitcoin.
One of the things that we learned in the last year that I think is encouraging asset allocators to think seriously about Bitcoin is it is not only a risk-on asset, but during the regional bank crisis last year, it appreciated as regional banks were falling apart. And so it has become a flight to quality asset as well. So think about that, risk on and risk off. volatile to be sure.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that on there. And now I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing, as I do on the back end of every video, repetitively, annoyingly repetitively, because we repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. All I'm doing is presenting to you exactly what I'm doing, and I provided resources. Everything I talk about, my insurance company, I'm the leader of that. I created it. Okay, I got licensed agents on there. Okay, number two, we have Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. We created that. We provided businesses that solved big problems for us and helped us free our family financially. Now, the next bull run, it is going to change our financial picture like you wouldn't believe. This is the greatest opportunity here, but here is my stark warning. We saw thousands of people, to include me. I should have pulled more profits, being transparent with you. I got the greed gene, got a little zealous with the spending, same thing. This time, hell no, dude. I got myself set up a fortress around me. So from 2020 to 2022, I had got into Index Universal Life in 2020. I wasn't licensed until last year. I had been referring it for almost 3 years. So what I was doing is I was working to max fund policies. That's why I got it set up in my current paradigm. So basically what I'm doing is I'm exiting 50% using Merlin. We teach you how to do an exit plan. You can do FAQs, customer service. You set up an exit plan. So as this stuff goes parabolic, they're telling you guys, that's why everybody's going to Bitcoin now. And what that means is big. So you're like, well, what are you talking about? Just Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's going to go up like crazy, and that's going to flood into alternative coins. Do you see what's happening to all our altcoins right now as Bitcoin's going up? Guys, this is just a small glimpse of what's about to happen. This is just a blip on the radar. Just a blip on the radar, a little ripple in the tsunami that's coming in the parabolic move. But what happens to a tsunami when it hits land? It destroys everything. You want to get out when the tsunami is at peak performance. Or let me rephrase that. You want to get out as the tsunami is going up into peak performance. Everybody's going to come in when the tsunami's at the top, and they're going to be the people that get wiped out in the village as it goes out. Okay. We exit on the ladder, on the wave, on the way up. Okay. We're pulling, of my group now, I pull and I put mine in max fund my Index Universal Life policies. When those are max funded, I look at what my next move is, and I'll create a new policy. Okay. So I'm max funding. Now, why am I doing that with 50% of my portfolio? Because number one, it protects my principal. You come collapsing down, my principal is guaranteed. Number two is whatever the cash value I put in there, I can borrow against tax-free to buy more assets. So now the crypto profit that I pulled is now working 3 different ways. It's in my insurance. I can now pull it from my insurance tax-free, and I can buy more assets. So if I borrow at 5% and the market's at 7, I'm netting 2% still on the cash value of my money. I borrow against the insurance company. I go buy more crypto when it dips, and you're buying with your crypto profits. I'm buying with other people's money, or I buy real estate, or I buy precious metals, or I buy new businesses. And now I learned the game. And now what'll happen is from 2025 to 2030, I'm going to build a legacy for my family. So that's what I'm doing. So from my Index Universal Life policies, that's where I'll make my tax-free moves. Okay. I also set up a trust, a Rockefeller trust. Now, what'll happen is basically everything is underneath my trust. We have a trust attorney that's part of our program, or basically I set up a trust where when I die, my kids are taken care of, and there'll be a dynasty trust that they have rules within there, or basically if they borrow against our dynasty, they have to put an insurance policy on it. So from generation to generation, it'll replenish itself and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. Now, people, the questions that I want to answer, we're getting hundreds of questions, so it's better to answer. Well, JB, what if the dollar collapses? I'm not worried about the dollar collapsing tomorrow, or we're talking about a transition that's been going on since 1913, guys. It's a 100-year transition. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Tax code 7702A, infinity banking concept, or using insurance for tax-free, that's the code, was created, ironically, the one that I use, in 1913. Since the 1913, the Federal Reserve was created on a secret island, read the book Creature of Jekyll Island, with the anonymous names, which were bankers. They created a bank for the banks. The dollars collapsed. And in 1971, they detached us from the gold standard, making your money fake. And they just turned the printing machine on. They can print to buy treasury bonds, which fund the government. Then they tax us to fund the government. That doesn't make any sense. Then they buy junk bonds off of their brothers and sisters and corporations to make sure their companies can go. And they package these up and sell them to us. It's like, and then they tap BlackRock In 2008, it was after the financial collapse, the first financial collapse, they tapped BlackRock to balance out the markets. The largest Feds tapped BlackRock to balance out the markets. Then the Feds tapped BlackRock to balance out the markets in 2020. Guys, BlackRock, Larry Fink is flight to safety crypto. So why wouldn't you do the same thing? Take a little bit of allocation, take a risk, create a budget. So if you don't have any money, create a budget. You're spending $4 a day on Starbucks. You have a $700 car payment. When humble yourself, get rid of all the bullshit in your life and go all in for 24 months. Go hang out at the park with your kids. Go on picnics with your spouse. You don't need to go out to dinner every single night. This is our Super Bowl, guys. This is it, man. But you can't get greedy, as this is going to go up exponentially, but it's going to come down so unbelievably hard because there's no regulation. And when regulation comes in, this is going to be normalized like the stock market. You're not going to have this crazy volatility. That's why asset managers are getting so excited. They're foaming at the mouth because they're going to be able to make so much money in a short amount of time. I made more money. We've made more money since 2020 than would have taken me almost after this bull run, just being transparent. After this bull run, I will have made more money than my whole career as an executive, a VP at a bank. That's crazy, guys. But the reason why I'm winning is because my plan is very succinct. Most crypto influencers, guys, they're broke in the bear market. We built empires in the bear market. We were disciplined. We actually have companies outside of crypto, right? We don't shill cryptos. We've never been paid by one cryptocurrency company. Everything we talk about, we own. We built them because we believe in speaking from our current paradigm. So all I'm sharing with you is what I'm doing. That's it. I share with you what I know. Now I'm trying to get into real estate, working to get into real estate. I don't know real estate. Everybody's reaching out to me. Oh, I'm a real estate expert. I wait to receive, and they're starting to, attract into my life. I'm like, okay, I need real estate because I need tax liabilities. I want the interest income. I have a property right now, and I see the benefits of it. Okay, I don't want to manage properties. It doesn't sound exciting to me. I love business. I love spirituality, and I love winning in these cycles. I love it. I love mastering these cycles. So that's all I got for you guys. I love you guys. Everything in the description of the video. Share this video with a family member, guys. This stuff needs to get out to people. The algorithm, I think because the stuff we talk about is not being pushed out pretty heavily. TikTok and Instagram, we're blowing it up. But YouTube just doesn't seem to push our videos. So it's all good. But you can help us push the videos, like, comment, send it to a friend, and help get this algorithm out there. So we love you guys. We appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.